Hey guys, what's up? It's AppleCritics from AppleCritics.com. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the tips and tricks for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So there's going to be a bunch of tips and tricks that I show in this video, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get this video started. So let's start off with the obvious. This is by far the best iPhone ever made, and this is also by far the biggest iPhone that Apple has ever made. So it's just simply a massive phone, but with a massive phone comes some massive features. So in this video, we're definitely going to go ahead and get into it. So based on the overall size of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it's 6.7 inches diagonally. So that means that it is just simply a behemoth of a device. So with that, you might have trouble using it with one hand. So if you do, I highly recommend the reachability feature. So in order to put on the reachability feature, all you have to do is just simply go into settings. And then once you're in settings, you're going to go all the way to accessibility. And then once you're in accessibility, we're going to go down to where it says touch. And then we're going to make sure that reachability is turned on. So essentially what reachability allows you to do is it allows you to swipe down from the bottom edge of the screen to bring the top into reach. So it allows you to reach a certain part of the screen easier. So if we swipe down from the bottom, you'll see that there'll be the reachability and we can access the top of the device now. So if we wanted to go into Control Center, we can do that now since we use the reachability feature. Now again, just to show that, all I have to do was swipe down from the bottom and then you can see reachability was enabled. And now we have the ability to just put it back to normal, or you can just simply do that again. And now you can access any part of the screen that we couldn't access by going all the way to the top like that. So you do get a little bit of the gist of that, but other than that, it does make some sense with reachability for people with smaller hands. Now, one thing to note is the bigger image sensor. So the image sensor on this 12 Pro Max is actually 47% larger compared to the iPhone 12 Pro. So that is something to note. And with this bigger image sensor comes better low light quality photos and videos. So that's definitely a good feature. But not only that, but there is a sensor shift image stabilization, which means better photos as well. So this is usually found in mirrorless DSLR cameras like Nikon camera or the Sony Alpha camera. So this is something that's really, really big. Now, a new feature within the camera settings. So what we can do is go into settings, and then we can go into camera. And then once you go into camera, we have all these different features right here. So we can see that there's a bunch of different features. So what we can do is just go into record video, and then you can see that there's a bunch of different ways that we can record the video in. And you can see all the different formats we can record the video in. So it goes all the way from 720p to 1080p, all the way up to 4K 60 frames per second. But what I really want to point out here is that we have the file size for all of these. So if we record a 1-minute video, it'll be 440 megabytes with 4K at 60 frames per second. So that's definitely something to note. But also with HDR video, I want to drag your attention over there because it means that you can record 60 frames per second video in 10-bit high dynamic range, including Dolby Vision. So that Dolby Vision is some special feature that Apple implemented for the 12 Pro Max. So that is something that is definitely new. Now, if we go back and then we go into format, if we go into format, it also records in high efficiency. So high efficiency is just made to have your camera capture in the reduced file size to not always take up all of your storage. So that is also something to notice. Now there also is improved night mode in the portrait camera, and the camera is the biggest difference overall with this 12 Pro Max. This is the reason why you want to get your hands on the 12 Pro Max. You also get an improved 65mm telephoto lens, and it has 2.5 times optical zoom, and it is a lot better compared to the iPhone 12 Pro's camera with that 0.5 bit of optical zoom. So that is something to notice. Now the overall gestures on the iPhone 12 Pro Max are also very smooth. So you can just swipe up for multitasking and can see you can easily go into it. Then we can also swipe on over just by going like this. So you can see just swipe over like that. So that is a hidden gesture that we can do. So that is just something good to note. Now, if you do want to power off your 12 Pro Max, all you have to do is just simply hit the volume up, volume down, and then hold the power. And then you can see that we can slide to power it off, and it's just that simple. So that is just a new feature in iOS 14. Now, the app library is a hidden iOS 14 feature that some people do not know. So if we go all the way to the furthest page to the right, you can see that you have the app library right here, and it'll organize all of our apps into it. Now, if we want to organize our screen, because normally whenever we download an app, it'll go directly to our home screen, what we can do is download an app directly to our app library so it makes our home screens look clean. So to do that, all I have to do is just simply go into Settings. And then once we're in Settings, we can go into Home Screen. And then we can make sure that we have newly downloaded apps that go directly to the home screen, or you could just say App Library only. And then you can also choose to show notification badges in App Library as well. So those are some home screen options that we can do. Now we can also hide pages just by tapping and holding on our apps. And now you can see that we're in wiggle mode, and you just simply tap. And we can choose to uncheck a certain page, and then we'd be able to hide the page. Then all I have to do is hit done after we do that. So that is really, really simple. Now, a new feature that will be available in 14.3, as we're currently on 14.2, is that we'll be able to shoot in RAW. So what we can do with shooting it in RAW means that there'll be a button right here, and you can just simply tap on it. And then once you shoot in RAW, we can just edit the photo more and just manipulate it a little more to our liking. So that is just a special term for people who really like to get into that pro photography. But it's good that it's coming to iOS 14.3, and we'll be able to get our hands on it very soon, and we'll be able to take advantage of the 12 Pro Max. Now, if we go into the video mode, you can see that we have the video mode, so it would be HD and then 30 frames per second. But now we can actually change it just within the app without going into the camera settings. So you can see that we have the ability to go 4K 60 frames per second, 4K 24 frames per second, HD 30 frames, HD 60 frames, HD 30 frames. So we have all those options there. Now, in terms of the overall RAM in this iPhone 12 Pro Max, it actually has 6 gigabytes of RAM. So this is the first iPhone ever with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So that's something to notice. And if we go into Geekbench, here we can see that it says 6 gigabytes of RAM that we have for the 12 Pro Max. Now, there also is 5G support in the 12 Pro Max. So what we can do is go into Settings, and then we can go into Cellular. And then under cellular, we will have the ability to use 5G, and we can turn it on and turn it off. And we have the ability to have 5G download software up. So that's the new option that we have. Now, the iPhone 12 Pro Max also does have MagSafe capability. So we can just put a MagSafe adapter at the back, and then we can charge your device, or we can have a MagSafe wallet. And many MagSafe accessories are now being made and are on the horizon, and case manufacturers are now taking advantage of it. Now, a good thing about the 12 Pro Max is that it does have a ceramic shield, so that will prevent your worries from dropping this device, but it still is highly recommended that you get a screen protector and that you make sure that you're careful with your device. And make sure you're careful with your device, and at least get a screen protector and a case just to make sure that your device is protected. Now, it does have a LiDAR scanner right at the back. So that LiDAR scanner, you may not realize that it's even there, but it's definitely huge. So it will definitely improve photography and videography on this 12 Pro Max. It's available on the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max, that LiDAR scanner, but it improves video, focus, augmented reality, and also measuring. So that is something to definitely note. Now, what we can do is actually go into Settings. And then when we go into Settings, what we can do is go into Accessibility. And then once you're in Accessibility, we can go into Touch. And then once we're in Touch, we can turn on Back Tap. So Back Tap is now a new mode where we can actually tap on the back of the device, and then it'll do certain functions. So I highly recommend trying out Triple Tap so it doesn't get confusing or anything like that. But we can do a Triple Tap, and then it'll go into Control Centers. You'll see that will be in the Control Center just like that. So we can just do that, and now we can try it again. And now you can see that we're in the Control Center just like that. So that's something to definitely notice. Now, going into the Control Center, you can see you have all your options here. So what we can do is actually remove any of this home stuff if you don't have any home connected devices in your 12 Pro Max. So you can go into Settings, and then you can go into Control Center. And then we can choose to show home controls or not, so we can just remove it. And now you'll see that there won't be any home controls. And now you have all this space for some more toggles for the Control Center. So we can choose to show home controls. Can go back into the Control Center. Then we can go into sleep mode now. And So sleep mode is just really good. It allows you to track your hours of sleep, how many hours you want, and you can put sleep goals and everything like that. So I highly recommend checking out sleep mode. So those are the main features for the 12 Pro Max. It has a lot of different features that are specific to the 12 Pro Max. That makes it worthwhile buying. So I thought I should make the best possible video for it. So hopefully you enjoyed the 12 Pro Max tips and tricks. If you did, be sure to smash the like button down below. Leave a comment down below on some of the tips and tricks that you found. And also be sure to check out all the videos on my channel. Be sure to check out my social media profiles on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My username there is AppleCritics. And be sure to subscribe for more great content. And thanks for watching.